Page 211. Okay, so I was just telling Michal that this class, now that we're on break, we're going to go like on a day-by-day basis. Like so, tomorrow I know that God willing I'm here. I know I'm going to be going to Tzfat at some point and so on. So I'll let you know each day about the next day. And if you miss a day and you don't know what the news is, you give a call. Everybody, if you want to take my telephone number and so while you're there already, shut the windows, please.
What you just said is you are following the example that God did in the Midbar, that He provided money day by day.
Okay.
So we're going to
let's go. Yeah. Okay. So page 211. Chiburim Ha'olam. So until now we were talking about that the whole thing about Tisha B'Av is we feel the pain of not being connected with our supernal, not being sufficiently connected with our supernal essence, with our connection in Shamayim, with the Beit HaMikdash. What the Beit HaMikdash does is that it's like it was the place of the Shekhinah, the dwelling place of the Shekhinah here on earth, and when we had the Beit HaMikdash, we really felt connected to above and below and so on, until we messed it up, okay? So now that we don't have it, we're crying over the connection. And the last thing that we were learning before was, in the last teaching, Tisha B'Av is not about saying to Hashem, oh, I'm sorry for this and I'm sorry for that, but really it's mostly about crying over the connection. In other words, it's not like what can I do to fix the damage that I did? It's certain when you hurt somebody, you want to be and you got separated and you want to be back, you want to be connected again. It's not like can I buy you some flowers and now we're going to be connected, or can I get you lend you my car and now we're going to be connected, or something like that. Are you crying over the connection? Right? Does it hurt you that we're not connected? So now he's going into a further step, and we started this actually, Chiburim Ha'olam, connecting with the world, right? So we're not. We're going to start at the towards the bottom of the page where it says the second last paragraph, Chaverim. Right?
The book start covering.
I said, yeah, the second last paragraph, right. So he told us a little story over here that on Friday night when the Baal Shem Tov would start Shabbos, would go out to start Shabbos, all the animals in the village used to disappear, and where were they? They all wanted to be present there by the Baal Shem Tov when he was being the Kabul Shabbos. Meaning to say that he was so connected with the physical world, even the animals sensed it. And you see that, you can see that when you're really in a good space of connection, animals will come up and sit down near you and so on. Anyway, so Chaverim, Mazot, excuse me, go back one paragraph. He says, Kishemashiach ba. This is a little bit past the middle of the page. Kishemashiach ba, when Mashiach will be coming, Kishebeit HaMikdash HaShlishi Yored Min HaShamayim, and the third Beit HaMikdash will be coming down from heaven, right? We're not going to, according to our tradition, we're not going to have to build the Beit HaMikdash. So it's there. It's just it's going to come down, okay? So then, so it says, Ki Beiti Beit Tfilah Yikarei L'chol Ha'amim. My house will be a house of prayer. It will be recognized and declared as the house of prayer for all the nations. Kol ha'olam yavo liYerushalayim lipalel. All the nations, the whole world will come to Yerushalayim to pray. So it's a prophecy in Yeshayahu. V'nahavu elav kol hagoyim. It'll be like rivers of people coming to Israel, coming to Yerushalayim. So, Chaverim, Mazot Tfilah, what is prayer? What is the whole thing about prayer? So he says that Tfilah, prayer, Perusha, the meaning of prayer is Shani Rotze, Shuv, Lihiyot, Kashur, Im Halamala. Prayer is all about being, that I want to be connected to the above, to my above. Okay? And Amen. Tfilah Pirusha Kayadua Lo Bakasha. The meaning of the word tfilah does not really translate as making requests, although in davening, in the prayers, we do have supplications, we do have requests, right? The whole Amidah, the 13 intermediary blessings in the Amidah are all about, parnose, livelihood and health, etc., in gathering of the exiles. Those are prayers, right? I mean, those are requests. So what does he mean and to say by that? Well, the truth is that, you see, if you look at the Siddur carefully, you see this the word Siddur basically means arrangement. The whole prayer, it's like it's a Seder, just like on Pesach, you have a Seder, you have an order. If you get cold, we'll shut it off for a couple of minutes, okay? Getting cold? Huh? Yeah, no problem. Hey, you? Okay, good. So come on in. So prayer is really about connection. We're talking about the Siddur, right? And so let me ask you a question. Which is the highest part of the davening? Which is the highest part of the prayers? I'm talking now about the morning prayers. Is it when you're saying Shema Yisrael and you're declaring Elokeinu Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, God is one, and you're going into a space, or we try to go into a space that God, I'm even ready to give my life for you, right?
It's hard to say which is the highest.
Well, which, or is it the Amidah? Right? No, we're talking. Okay, you're right. But in terms of the way the Siddur is arranged, the way the prayers are arranged, according to Kabbalah, according to the Kabbalah, the highest part of the prayer is the Amidah. Okay, and because just to put it.
The whole point here is a one-on-one communication, which what the end of the day is. It's not just about praising Hashem. It's not just about conversing with Hashem. It's not praising His oneness.
Right, but we're trying, we're trying to
Mhm.
explain what Reb Shlomo just said over here. That prayer is not about requesting. Okay? So how do you resolve that? If in the Amidah you're making all these requests, right? He allows, provide us with parnasa, etc.
But on Shabbat, no requests.
Okay, because on Shabbat, it's Shabbat is like, you just got to be there, and you're right, no requests on Shabbat. Okay. But during the week,
Right.
right?
The point is that you remember where anything you need is coming from, and like that's how you're reconnecting, because it's not just the point of asking for these things, but the point is to remember that that's the only place to go for these things, is to be connected to where.
that is true. That is true. But the mitzvah of davening, the mitzvah of prayer is to actually ask Hashem for what you need.
It's not a testament of faith. It's nice,
Yes, it's a testament of faith, definitely. So we're just trying to understand why did he say over here, since davening is so much about making requests, what's he trying to point out by saying that tefillah does not mean requests? Okay, so if you look up the root of the word tefillah, do you know what the root of the word? No, it's So he's going to bring down that when that Naphtali was named Naphtali because with his birth, Rachel felt that she now got partnered with Yaakov as a mother of one of his children. Okay, so the root of tefillah is Pei Lamed Lamed, which actually means to judge, right? But the root of Naphtali, I'll have to check what the root of the word Naphtali is, but and you said before tafel, right? Which means an addendum.
No,
Something, well, in comparison to the main thing, right? But it still means connected. Okay? Josh, up on top, it's 3 volumes of a green dictionary. Top shelf, look for the letter. Yeah, it's the one on the left. That one, the third one on the left. Yeah.
Third one.
Yeah, the one that says
the one that's not the
the
same
one
color.
it's the same color. It's a bit darker. So let's see what the root of the word is.
Shouldn't the root be Ella? They Lamed Hey or something?
No, this is one root is Pei Lamed Lamed. Okay, Lehit Palel, right? So he has over here the root Palel, which means, which they're giving, they're including requests as part of the meaning of tefillah. But in any case, so one idea is that when you're davening and you start off the Amidah by listing God's attributes, right? Gamel Chasadim Tovim, etc. Mechayim Meitim. You're listing all the kind of things that God does. So Lehit Palel in the reflexive means to judge yourself. So the idea is that the Torah says that we're to bond with God, or vot tidbak. So the Gemara asks the question, how can you bond with God? God is a consuming fire. How can you bond with God and still remain alive? So the Gemara says that imitate his attributes. Imitate Hashem's attributes. Just like he is compassionate, you be compassionate. Just like he gives tzedakah, give tzedakah. Just like he visits the sick, you visit the sick. All the things that God does, and God is just, you be just, etc. So the idea is that when we're starting the Amidah, you're judging yourself on your closeness, your connection with Hashem. From the last time that I prayed until now, have I been doing things that are helping me bond with God, or have I been doing things that are taking me further away? Okay? So that's what Reb Shlomo is basically saying here. He says that you're praying because you want to be connected with God. And like Josh was saying, and like Tali was saying, in other words, you want to be aware of your connection with Hashem, and you want to be connected with God. I think you should shut it off for a couple of minutes, okay? חברים יקרים, my precious friends, למדנו 1,000 פעמים שאדם שבאמת מתפלל להשם, we learned this 1,000 times, that when a person is truly praying to God, כל מילה שיוצאת מפיו היא תפילה בפני עצמה. Every word that he speaks is a prayer unto itself. כשאתה רואה, page 212, כשאתה רואה בן אדם, when you see somebody, ואומר לו, and you tell him, בוקר טוב, and you say good morning, right? אתה בעצם אומר, ממש קיבלת ענה, אני רוצה להיות מחובר איתך. When you say good morning to someone, you're really basically saying, I'm not talking about the Amerikansky style, but you're really saying, I want to be connected with you, right? Now, how connected is that's already, that you can look into, but the point is that you're saying, we're not talking about just saying Boker Tov because of being polite. We're talking about saying Boker Tov because like you're really wishing the person a good morning, right? So there's a Gemara in Masechet Brachot that says that Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol reported, the high priest Rabbi Yishmael, he said that one Yom Kippur, when he was leaving the Holy of Holies, a Katriya Lamalach, a manifestation of God, calls out to him and says, Yishmael, my son, give me a blessing. Okay? And he blesses God that his compassion should overpower his anger. Okay, he's blessing Hashem that when you get angry at us, your compassion should overpower your anger. It's a Gemara Daf Zion if you want to look it up. So the Ishbitzer explains, what does that mean? What does it mean Hashem is asking us for a blessing? What does it mean that Hashem is asking man for a blessing? So he explains that basically Hashem is saying that he's given us the role of drawing him into the world. Okay? So when you're saying Baruch Atah Hashem, you're trying to you're so to speak stimulating God to manifest, which you're saying to manifest his healing. You're stimulating God to manifest his giving us livelihood, etc. In other words, that's it's not just that I need something and I'm turning to Hashem and I'm saying, I need this, can you give it to me? It's you're praying for that aspect of God to manifest in the world. And when Hashem says, give me a blessing, what Hashem is saying is, this is the role that you have in prayers, that your role is to draw God into the world. Okay? So when you're saying the Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu Shchinte, the Sephardim are more familiar with this sentence, but it's in the Ashkenazi Siddur also. For the sake of the unification of God and His Shechina. In other words, in simple language, what that means to say is that you're wanting Hashem's higher. Before I go on, don't think geographically when we're using these words. And when we're using these words, these are just parables in our language, okay? Bless you. These are parables in the language that human beings speak. But the idea is that we don't want Hashem to be so hidden. We want the presence of Hashem to be more palpable in this world. Okay? Nothing exists without Hashem's constant creation of the world. Okay? This everything, you, I, the table, everything that's in existence is because at this instant Hashem is creating it in you. Okay? But God is completely concealed. Okay? We want to see the presence, we want to see the unification of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Shechina. We want to see that unification. Now, when you say Baruch Hu Hashem and you meditate on God's name, it's not just that you are thinking about God, but you're actually you're making a space in your consciousness for Hashem to be present in your consciousness, to draw Hashem into yourself, so to speak. Okay? Is that making any sense to you? Yeah? Okay. So what he's saying is, so now the example that he just gave now is that when you say Boker Tov to someone, not just because of politeness, but you actually mean it, right? You are actually making a space for connection between you and that person. You're making place for that person to be present in your heart. Okay? Okay. Uh-huh. The house is for sale that they're looking at it. So just close the window behind you, and then turn it on again, okay? Okay, so he says like this, the Gemara says, the Gemara says that in the future, Israel will spread out to all the other lands of the world.
Which Gemara is that in? Megillah?
I could look it up later. I don't know by heart. Okay, it could be in Megillah. I don't remember. So, כשמשיח יבוא, ארץ ישראל תתפשט על כל העולם. Israel will spread out into the entire world. בוודאי אין פירושו, this surely does not mean שלא תהיה ארץ ישראל. It doesn't mean that there won't be Israel distinct from other countries. אלא שתהיה, it will take a moment, come on. אלא שתהיה Eretz Yisrael v'tiyeh Sin. There will be Israel and there will be China. אבל כל העולם יהיה מחובר עם ארץ ישראל. What it means is that the entire world will be connected with Israel. כל העולם יהיה מאוחד עם ארץ ישראל. The whole world will be united with Israel, right? And instead of the way it is right now, that the whole world sees itself against Israel, right? the world will be united with Israel. I want you to know, my friends, אם אתם קשורים לתורה, if you're connected to the Torah, אם אתם קשורים לשמיים, and if you're connected to heaven, ממילא אתם כבר קשורים לכל יהודי בעולם. So then you're already, by virtue of that, you're connected to every Jew in the world. ואתם קשורים לעולם כולו, and you're also connected to the whole world. כמו שנאמר, as it says in the verse we read before, כי ביתי בית תפילה יקרא לכל העמים. The whole world will recognize this and will connect with the Beit HaMikdash as the prayer center for all the nations. אין לכם ברירה, אתם קשורים עם הכל. You have no choice about this. You're connected with everything. Okay? In other words, it's not, if you're really connected with Hashem, you're really connected above, you're connected with everyone. If you think, oh, I've got a great relationship with God, but I have a lousy relationship with this person or with that person or with that person, so that means that you're not really so connected. If it's like, you're not so connected above. It has to translate itself in the way we're connected over here. Friday was the York side of Aaron HaKohen. Right there. He's the only one whose date of the date that he left the world, he's the only one whose date is actually mentioned in the Torah. That it was Rosh Chodesh Av. And he's the only one concerning whom the Torah says that the whole house of Israel cried over his death. And the commentators explain why is that, because everybody felt the absence, he felt his absence when he died, because he was constantly making peace between people, between husband and wife, between friends who got into fights and so on. And Reb Shlomo explains that's what defines the meaning of Aaron HaKohen saying God's name in the Holy of Holies in Yom Kippur. In other words, so we all know that on Yom Kippur, Aaron HaKohen went into the Holy of Holies, and he uttered the complete divine name. Right? So what does that mean to me? Besides a bit of information, how am I supposed to relate to that? So Reb Shlomo explains, look at what those lips that said the divine name, what were those lips doing the rest of the year? And the rest of the year they were busy making peace between people. Therefore, what defines saying God's name, if you want to know, did it have any meaning? It's only meaningful when you see how this person now talks and relates with other people. Somebody once came to a Rebbe and he says, I learned the entire Torah. So the Rebbe said to him, and what did the Torah teach you? Right? So you learned it, but what did you learn from it? Right? That's what it's about. What did we learn from the Torah? What did we learn from are you different now? Are you interacting differently with people? And if not, so you got information. Fine, so you got information, holy information, yes. But did you learn something from it? Right? So Lehit Paralel is really to get involved and to be connected with Hashem. To be connected with Hashem, really connected, means you're connected with every one of your brothers and sisters, and whether it's in Tel Aviv or Caesarea or Yerushalayim, whether the Jew is religious or not religious, and ultimately also being connected with the whole world. Okay?
But there are people
that are harder to get along with. So we need to learn and figure out how that can be fixed. But you see, But that's a whole topic by itself. Okay, how to achieve that or what to do with that, and basically I'll just say one sentence, and that is Reb Nachman says, never stop focusing on the positive in the other person, and by doing that you're putting them into a positive space, and by putting them into a positive space they're not going to be hurting you.
So there are people who don't want to change.
Michal, that's a separate topic, okay? This is not what we're getting at right now. So he says, Tisha B'Av, like right in the middle of the page, a one-line paragraph. Tisha B'Av zehu mamash, actually, Tisha B'Av zehu mamash hatikun hagadol. So Tisha B'Av is the big fixing of all these issues. In other words, because Tisha B'Av, we cry over it, right? He was distinguishing between Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is them saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did this. I'm sorry that I did that, and so on. Tisha B'Av is, we're crying over the lack of the connection, over the lack of connection. But he would say, now I want to tell you another thing. He says, Lama kashe kol kach litchaten? Why is it so hard to get married? Once we were learning in New York, and suddenly a man and a woman came in. And she said, it's very hard for me to get married, because by getting married, I'm going to be going into an exclusive relationship, and it's hard for me to separate myself from everybody else. If I get married, it's going to be just me and my husband. It's not for me. So what does that mean? Says Reb Shlomo. That statement that woman said, what is she actually saying? So Reb Shlomo says it means that Heim einam kshurim yachad. What she's really saying is, I'm not really connected to my husband, to this man either. Because when I'm connected to a woman that I really love, so then as a result of this relationship, of this connection with the person that you love, you're actually more connected with the whole world. What? Even more so. Because, does anybody want to volunteer an explanation other than me? Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
If you're connected to a person really deeply, that means you're connected to the source, and the source is the basis for all connection with everyone. So it means you're tapped into what you're creating. So in that way, it opens up your eyes to everything around it.
For example, let's say I'm connected with Izzy because every so often he gives me a ride in his car, right? And if Izzy says, Shalom, I want to have an exclusive relationship with you. I don't want you to take rides with anybody else anymore. Okay? So I'm going to say, no, wait. Right now, I get a ride from Bernie. I get a ride from I get a ride from Rivaya. I get a ride from Michal. I get this. Like, I should just be limited just to one car. I don't want that, right?
Yeah.
But see, in that kind of example, I'm not really connected with Ezzy. I'm connected with the ride that he's giving me. Not connected with him. Okay. When you really so if you're really connected with the person that you love, then you feel your connection with everybody, because we're all, like Brooke was saying, you really feel your connection above much more. And when you're really connected above, then that connection extends to more and more people.
So it's like you have to have a real connection with someone to understand what like a real connection is. Because you're really connected above to like and then be connected with all the everyone.
It's not just understanding. It actually is it actually is them. It actually happens that way.
Did this actually happen?
Does it? Yeah. It's. Look. Let me put it this way. Do you know what it means to have compassion on a child if you never had a child, or did your compassion for children grow when you had your own children?
And they had your own.
When you have your own children, right? In other words, you because you have that deeper connection with your own child, you can understand. You understand. Your compassion has grown.
So the glow of the connection that one has with another person would radiate.
Whether it's you want to use the words the glow radiating or whatever it is, it's the closer you are with Hashem, the closer you are with every one of His children. Right? You can't go to Hashem and say, "Listen, God, I love you, but I just can't stand your kids." Hashem is going to say, "Well, go back down and fix your relationship with the people. You're not really relating with me because me and my children are one."
If you don't have that connection,
So you work on it.
connecting with just one person.
You connect. So you connect. So,
You-
right, but through connecting with one person in a really deep way, you begin to appreciate connecting with everybody else. But it's not a limiting thing. It's actually empowering. Sure, there's something very exclusive about a marriage. That's a fact. But through a really deep connection with the person that you love, your ability to love everybody else in ways that are permissible is enhanced and far stronger. Yes?
Exponentially.
Yeah? Everybody, yeah, you got that? Okay.
And if that doesn't happen, that means you're not really.
It means that it's, look. I once heard from Reb Ginsburg. There's two statements in the Talmud about getting married, okay? One statement is, Matzah Isha, Matzah Tov. When one finds his wife, or he's found good, okay? Another statement says, King Solomon says, actually they're both from King Solomon. Another statement he says, Motzei, and you got to listen to the end before you shoot me. Okay, Motzei ani et haisha mar mimavet. I find the woman to be more bitter than death. Okay, so Rav Ginsburg explains as follows. There's two kinds of relationships. There's a relationship which is a bonding between two people, and that is Matzah Isha, Matzah Tov, right? When you find your wife or you find your husband, you've found something very good because you've found the other part of your soul, okay? But Motzei ani et haisha, look at where the word Isha is in this verse, right? The first verse is Matzah Isha. Now it's Motzei ani et haisha. It's about me. Okay? If the relationship between the husband and wife is about me, so then it's going to be bitter. Okay? Because it's not about, because it's all about yourself. Talking about yourself. It's not going to be so. It's not going to be so pleasant, because it's about you. You're basically in this relationship because of what is it? What is it? what is this doing for me? You know, one of the famous lines of John Kennedy was, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, right? The same thing, similarly, is what is this relationship about? Is this, I'm marrying you because you're going to darn my socks and you're going to cook my supper and you're going to clean the house and you're going to have my children? Or is this a relationship about bonding, becoming like one person? So if it's going to be, so you understand? And of course, there's some utilitarian aspects in our relationships, but is it the utilitarian aspect that you're concerned about, or are you concerned about the relationship? Okay. Reb Shlomo, when he was still a student in yeshiva, so the Shatchonim, the matchmakers, were all after him. So this Shatchon comes and he says, I've got a great girl for you. She just came from Hungary. This is in the 50s, I guess. She just came from Hungary. She's strong. She can cook well. She's talented. She can sew and everything and so on. And Shlomo says, does she speak English or Yiddish? He says, no. So he says, so what kind of shidduch is this? He says, you don't have to talk to her. The matchmaker says, you don't have to talk to her. It was just illustrating, like, the extremes, okay? Okay, so let's see. Rav Kook Omer, 6 lines from the bottom. Kook says, he was the first chief rabbi of Israel. If you want to love the whole world, there's only one way to do it. לאהוב את התורה, to love the Torah, ולאהוב יהודים, and to love Jews, ולאהוב את ירושלים, and to love ירושלים, ודרכם, and through them, לאהוב את כל, then you will also be able to love the whole world. האם אומר לילדים שלי, am I going to tell my children, page 213, אני מצטער, I'm so sorry, אני לא יכול לאהוב you, why? כי אני קשור לכל הילדים בעולם, because I'm connected to all the children of the world, right? אני יודע שיש אנשים שאינם דואגים לילדים שלהם. I know people that, Reb Shlomo says, and this is back in, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, he says, I know people שאינם דואגים לילדים שלהם, who are not taking care, כי הם כל כך קשורים לכל הילדים. He's being a little bit facetious over here, because they're so much in love with all the children of the world. אם מישהו אומר, אני חושב שמאוד קשה להתחתן, if somebody says, I think it's very hard to get married, כי אני לא רוצה לאבד קשר עם כל הנשים בעולם, because I don't want to lose my connection with all the women of the world, פתאום אני מצמצם את עצמי לאישה אחת, all of a sudden, like I'm going to have to myself to just one woman, מי שאומר כך, anybody that says that, סימן שהוא לא מחובר באמת לאישה שלו, that means he's not really connected with his wife. Okay.
He's not connected at all. If a man can say that, a person can say that.
Yeah. It's no, but that was like, like if you remember, like, like in the 60s and 70s and 80s, like, that's how people were talking, like, like getting married is limiting. People went with that ideology, So if someone's saying, if that's the way you're thinking, you're not connected to anybody.
But wasn't he thinking the same way?
No.
1,000 wives?
Who King?
You know who talking about?
No. This was Shlomo talking now, Shlomo Karlebach. No, but King Solomon, he had 1,000 wives, but he was married to each one.
You had a connection with
He had a deep love with each one. Now, what was he trying to accomplish by doing that? He was trying to bring about a unity between all the nations. Okay, it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand that how that would be, and in fact, he wasn't successful in that respect, because they brought a lot of them brought their idols with them too. And idolatry is really all about separation. Okay. So, Acharei Tisha B'Av, there's a couple more lines. Acharei Tisha B'Av, ani sam lev. After Tisha B'Av, I realize, she'im ani mechubar be'emet l'adam echad, if I'm truly connected with one person, as gewalt ani kashur b'chol ha'olam, then I'm really connected with the whole world. Ani kashur l'chol ha'yehudim, I'm connected to all my fellow Jews, and ani kashur l'Yerushalayim, I'm connected with Yerushalayim, and Ikashur b'chol ha'olam, and I'm connected with the whole world. You see, when you read something like this, and we try to understand it rationally, it's because we haven't achieved it yet. So you're trying to use your mind to understand what does this mean. Okay, what does this mean? How do you explain this? How do you explain this? And that is because we're not in that space. But if you've had the opportunity to be in the presence of a tzaddik or a tzaddikus, a male tzaddik or a female tzaddikus, or a truly righteous person, you feel connected when you feel connected with that person, even if you've never met them before. Okay, that's the reality. That's one of the reasons that people run to see holy people, because the tzaddik, the holy person, is so connected that you can't help but feeling connected in their presence. You also feel connected in their presence. Okay. So the tzaddik has the ability that no matter who's going to meet with them, they're going to feel connected, with the exception of times where these things don't make sense, such as during the Holocaust and so on. But I'm not going into that right now. But generally, when you're in the presence of a really holy person, the holy person doesn't see you and doesn't see your genes and doesn't see your kapata or your shtreimel or whatever garb that you might be wearing. A righteous person sees your neshama. And when your neshama is showing, is being looked at, is being recognized, then you too begin to feel your soul. And your soul, your soul, what is the inner eye, the eye within me is my soul. What is the eye within my soul?
Hashem.
It's Hashem, it's God, right? So when you're really connecting with your neshama, you're connecting with Hashem, and Hashem is echad, God is one. You're connecting with the oneness in the world. Okay, so we're on 2:13, and Yisrael Hashem, tomorrow we're gonna continue. Whoever has a chance to be here, please. It'd be nice to see you. Okay, we're gonna see you tomorrow still? Yeah.